Welcome to the Adventures in Silvernell. My name is Michael Jackson. I am not Scott today. You see, we've switched places. He is a player, and I will be running this campaign. We are calling this adventure What the Fae, The Odyssey of Chaos. I will be your MC, your Minister of Chaos, your Mistress of Conundrums, your Master of Ceremonies. I'll give out DM inspiration if any of the players can give me like a M and C combo, like I just did. Anyone? You got an M and C?
Mr. Cool.
Boom, DM inspiration.
Hey.
Anybody else? Free points. Anybody?
Mystical connoisseur.
Boom, DM inspiration. Come on, guys. We're open for business.
Magic Commissioner.
Ooh, we like that one. All right.
That's good.
I'm panicking, and I
I
think of
know.
as more clarinet. I don't know. Just we're performing, I guess.
No pressure. That's how we're starting the game. We're extremely chaotic, and we're gonna give out 3 DM inspirations: Andrew, Scott, and Ben. Also, you guys, if you've been here before, you've seen all these faces previously, except for this guy right down. Well, actually, I don't know where he's on the screen. But wave if you're new here. Ben, yeah. Let's welcome Ben. Hey, Ben.
Hey.
Thank you, guys. So this is a campaign that is taking place in the Feywild, an area we have not visited in Silvernell, and it is a place that Scott has graciously offered to let me create and run a game in. And so he is learning, just like I'm learning, and you're learning, and everyone else is learning what is going on right now. I'm sorry, what the Fey is going on right now. And it's going to be a fun and chaotic time. This would be a very role-play heavy stream. As we progress farther into it, we'll be adding in more layers of audience interaction. But let's start with the players here. Can we get a D20 roll from everybody? Just a flat D20 roll.
Dropped my dice immediately.
I usually roll well, but that was a 3.
I got a 17.
Okay.
I got a 20.
Right.
Ooh, nat 20!
Starting off strong.
And then it was...
That's a premonition of this season.
I got a crit fail.
No,
Wow,
what?
okay, I was like,
Reality.
no, surely be at the bottom. I was like, no, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Who got the 3? It was Tanner. Tanner got a 3. Boom, and then I'm just writing this out because I will forget it. Scott got a 2.
Tanner, were your headphones purple last season?
No, they changed color.
Oh my gosh.
But I'll change color later on. I couldn't decide on a color yet.
Yeah, I'm vibing with purple for the time being. Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Let me move my little thing over here. So let's start with, we've already kind of given your name away, but let's get full name and character name from you, my friend. Ben.
Hi, I am Benjamin Reily. This season I'll be playing Tidbit Crimson.
Nice. Can you tell us a little bit, or the audience, about your relationship with Dungeons and Dragons?
I've
How
been
long you playing
playing
it?
Dungeons and Dragons probably around 8 years now. I found myself much more often in a GM's chair, so I'm really excited to come here and be a player.
Nice. And what is your relationship with Silvernell?
I did a brief one-shot where we were champions of gods. You had run there. I briefly played a portal whose name escapes me, but he was a baker, and he fought with sugar and pastry.
If anyone in the audience goes back and finds that video, it's 3-episode one-shot and gets that name. Just saying. We would love you. Byron looking at you. Just kidding. Don't actually do that. And what is your character's levels if you're multi-classing, and a description of them?
So Tidbit is a level 13 cleric of the Peace Domain. They are a 2'6" humanoid frog. They are the race of a grung. They are constantly seen in lavish robes, mostly adorned with silver glitter, and you'll never see them without a pocket watch by their side, a gift from their god, Sir Urba.
Perfect. And speaking of that god there, as Tidbit Crimson kind of rubs his eyes, it's like when you wake up for the first time and your lights are on and you're just kind of like, you can't really see. And Scott, if you can pull up the image the image on the screen, you kind of you look out and you see the back of Sir Urva, God of Time, standing in front of you, looking out over this massive lake. Make me a. Actually, what are your passives? Are any of them higher than 15?
Perception and insight are both passively 20.
Jesus. Okay, so you have a passive insight and perception of 20. So you see and know all. Got it. Cool.
Animal.
Cool. Cute. If anyone's lying, beware. This guy may know. Yeah, you immediately clock that this is White Pearl Lake. It is of the Fae formerly, but now it resides in the material plane. Summer Song is standing there, kind of like moving around with his cloaks, kind of like being in the wind. Very, very hippie energy, just kind of like feeling the vibe. He doesn't turn to you, but he goes, "Oh, well, I'm glad you could make it. It is a big day for you, right? Graduation?"
Tidbit would like to sleep longer. Tidbit is nervous for today.
Well, sometimes you just got to do the thing. You can't always get the rest you need, but it's all right. You can rest after it's over, and then that rest will be even more worth it because it's stacked up.
Tidbit knows you could give Tidbit all the time Tidbit needs. But Tidbit will go anyway.
Little Titty, man, I'm crazy that I just said that out loud. Little Titty, it's, I'm the god of time and I respect it. I can't just willy-nilly dabble with it. He kind of looks around and he's like, technically I can't willy-nilly dabble with it, but I do like to, get what I can. Do you know where this place is? Little one?
Tidbit is familiar with the lake. Somewhat.
Do you know when this is?
Tidbit never likes this question.
It's always a good one. It's my favorite question. This is, as you already know, the White Pearl Lake. Year 100 AGW. Any idea why that might be important? On a graduation day?
Tidbit is not good with numbers and does not know.
It's the day that I became the god of time. I became the god of time right here. I'll actually become the god of time in approximately, looks at his arm, there is no watch on it, approximately 17 minutes, 30 seconds, and 14 nanoseconds from now. It's kind of like my graduation.
Oh. Tidbit did not know you graduated to godhood.
Well, I wasn't always a god. I was just at first a man, well, an elven man, fairly higher than humanoids, but we all start somewhere.
Did they give you a hat?
Who?
The people that graduated you. The people that graduate Tidbit gave Tidbit a hat.
Well, my life was a little weird. It wasn't exactly consensual. There are things called inflection points. There are moments in time in which they change everything. This was one of those moments. I was a little more reserved back then. I wasn't about doing lots of things. I wanted to just kind of relax. And then this was thrust upon me, and I did not want it. My party, though, they thought differently, and so it was against my better judgment, but I agreed with them and did what they asked of me, and then I became a god. So kind of if I had done what I wanted to do, I wouldn't be here at all. I'd just be probably dead. No, I'd still be alive. But
Oh. Should Tidbit not do what Tidbit wants to do?
that is the question, isn't it? What's right and what's wrong, and how do you know until after it's happened? Unless you can see it, but you can't, I can. That's different.
Tidbit is confused again.
Sorry, it's hard trying to keep up with things when you're in the past, present, and the future all simultaneously. It is quite a bit. But I just wanted to tell you that I'm very proud of you. You are my chosen, my first chosen, my only chosen. So don't fuck it up, okay? It's just you and me. No pressure.
Okay.
But there is. And he kind of like starts to you clock it immediately with your passive 20 insight. He just gets slightly uncomfortable, like he has a question to ask you that he can't like. He's like, little Tid, I've got a tidbit for you. Wordplay, it's funny, isn't it? I've got a tidbit for you. I need a favor, perhaps. I mean, yeah, it's a favor. I need a favor.
Tidbit is your voice. Tidbit will do whatever you ask of him.
Right, but I'd like you to do it because you want to do it, not because I'm telling you to do it and you're like loyal to me. I would just like you, Tidbit, to like want to do it. But I'm not saying that's not what's happening here. I'm just saying when you say it like that, it sounds like you're just doing it because I asked you, not because you want to.
Tidbit was going to do it because you asked them. Tidbit does not like to do things.
Well, this is a really easy one. There are other people like you, other champions, not mine, other deities, champions. They exist. They're around. Some of them, are cool, like you. Some of them are not, because that's just how people are. Time tells. Get it? I'm really good at this. Thank you. But there is I can't tell you all the things, because if I tell you that affects it, there will be a champion who you'll encounter, and I would love for you to just impart some wisdom on them. They may be lost in their journey or being pulled in lots of different ways, and I would just like, if you find them, whatever, I know you will, but if you find them, I just want you to keep an eye out for them, for me, and for you. Mostly for me.
Tidbit can do this. Tidbit is filled with wisdom and snacks.
Well, I like that. You're full of. Do you like me in your pockets or like in your tummy? Are you eating the snacks or hoarding them? Both. Probably?
Does Tidbit need to answer?
No,
I'm required to answer.
No, Tidbit, you're not required to answer. This is casual. We're having a nice conversation in the past about the present and the future. What's not more casual than that?
Wait, if we are in the past, then perhaps Tidbit is still dreaming? Oh, Tidbit is okay. Tidbit is still asleep.
In this moment, lost. It's kind of like in between time. Like, what is in between a blink? What's in between a second? This, right here. So, like, you're not out of time, but you're also not in it, technically. Just kind of around it. Near it, if you will.
Tidbit understands. Tidbit will guide this champion, though Tidbit would like to know how to identify them.
Tidbit, you don't give yourself enough credit. You're an incredible judge of character, and you've got a really keen eye. I think you'll know it when you see it, and when in doubt, you'll feel it, if nothing else. Just trust you. I do.
Okay.
And I'm the god of time. Like, if I trust you, like, come on. I know what you will do, and I trust you. That's kind of crazy, right?
Did the god of time bring me any snacks this time?
Well, it looks like our time's up. And kind of like a big flash comes from the lake, like a reflection of the sun, kind of like hits your eyes for the second time, and you're rubbing them. And before you see anything, you hear lots of voices, sound, conversations happening around you, and people start to move and push past you. You are standing in the Sky Defense Academy in the Fae. You are moving towards the graduation chamber where you finish your 8 years of schooling, and everyone else who has graduated and completed their courses are going to leave the school for the first time in 8 years. That is what you see. What would you like to do?
I think Tidbit is just gonna kind of shake off that little moment and head straight towards the graduation center, wherever the main stage for graduation would be, because Tidbit has prepared speeches for the graduates.
And you do that. You start to move through. Everyone knows Tidbit Crimson. It's impossible for a person who is this big everyone looks at you. Everyone makes way for you. It's like they can feel your aura coming down the hallways. You are the HBIC. Like, everyone is just, Titty. Oh, hi, Tidbit. Oh, hello, hey, Peace Walker. Oh, hi. And everyone's just, like, enamored by you. These are all, like, well-trained. If they're graduating, they are high level. They are, like, very of themselves, and they see you, and they kind of just, like, it's seeing a celebrity. They're just like, oh my God. Oh, hey, hi. But that is just, like, continuous as you're moving down the hallways. You see, you know that there are no professors or anything there are no teachers at the academy. It's run by an AI program. There are mentors there who are real people. They cover various classes, and they are there for any extra aid. And you would see those professors, there's 20 of them that are in this graduation hall, kind of like, actually there's 20 of them, but all of them aren't there. Some of them have left because they're allowed to leave during this time to go back to not the school and just like explore. So there's like 10 of them who are standing around. But yeah, you mentioned a speech. I'd love to hear that.
Tidbit has prepared remarks. I just walk up to like the nearest teacher. Where should Tidbit go?
This large, armored person, male figure stands. Tidbit would like to speak to you all. Take the knee. And everyone just goes, don't. And they just drop to their knee and they look up at you. Well, they look at you, even on their knee, they're not really looking up at you. But they take the knee and they like start to listen.
Tidbit does not know any of your names. Tidbit apologizes for this. Tidbit is grateful you have spent your time here with Tidbit. Tidbit would like to congratulate all of us for graduating. And Tidbit would like to ask that you leave your hats behind after the graduation so they can be reused next year. Tidbit would also like to make a formal request to the staff. And I turn towards the head of school.
Head of school is they are always listening. It's not a person. It is kind of the school itself. But the faculty member who is with you is still standing there. But you can speak to the school and it will respond if it chooses to.
Tidbit has enjoyed Tidbit's time here, but Tidbit thinks there should be changes. We should not have math. Math has not served me. Tidbit does not understand numbers. Tidbit believes that for the future of this academy, we must replace math with cooking. There must be more chefs. Tidbit is done now.
The person who was the teacher who was standing next to you kind of like leans down to you. Not to, I don't want to, cut off what you just said there, but you do know to cook there are measurements, and measurements are technically math. Tidbit. Do you just want fun math?
Tidbit does not understand your question.
A Peace Walker, of course. No worries. And everyone, he just kind of like points to usher you out, and everyone kind of rises. And then then there's a lot of standing. You're standing on this sigil, and you know that it's at some point going to teleport you out of this location. Is there anything else you'd like to do? Anyone else just like to see before you graduate?
No, I believe Tidbit has said all they need to.
As you're standing there kind of like awkwardly, you can feel the presence of two people walking up to you. That perception keen. You don't have to look at them to know who they are. It's Orpheus, one of your squad mates. There's three of you. Orpheus, who is your armorer, and Syndra, who is your artillerist. Orpheus is a tall male Goliath, and Syndra is a female tiefling. And Orpheus looks at you and goes, oh, wow, you really got them in order. I love the power you command, the power that we command because we know you so good. You ready for real life? No more dream training. It's gonna be the thing.
Tidbit is prepared. Tidbit has been chosen by God. Clearly, God would not choose a failure.
Syndra and Orpheus look at each other. No, he's mentioned God. We know. Of course. That makes sense. And who would want to be teamed up with a failure? That'd be awkward for us, right? So glad we're on the same side. Syndra says nothing. She's just standing there, like, looking at you guys talking. She's like, okay. And then you notice that the ground starts, or the sigil on the ground starts to vibrate and light up a little bit. And it starts to get hotter. You can feel the magic coming off of it. And we are going to cut to Erica. Can you tell us your name and character name, please?
Hi, my name is Erica Nicholson, formerly known as Erica Webb on past streams. And I am playing Desiree Elmara this season.
Nice. What is your relationship with D&D? These will be fun questions for you.
I started playing during COVID time, so I'm probably the newest person out of the group on their D&D journey, but that lock-in really got me an extra hobby, so.
Clutch. And, what is your relationship with Silvernail?
I played Be Aggressive in Season 2, Dragontooth Academy, and then last season, Season 4, I played Mizu Minu at the Azirian Kingdom. So, 2 campaigns. This is looking forward to my 3rd this time.
Love it, love it. And what are your characters' levels and description?
Desiree is a level 13 cleric. Or not cleric, excuse me, a druid. Oh my gosh. Level 13 druid. I'm not playing a ditzy character this season, so I've got to get that out of my brain. I'm usually doing that. But a level 13 druid. She's a Circle of Wildfire druid, specifically. And she is very beautiful, but in a very fae-like way. Her skin kind of glows a little orange and yellow. She has leaves and roots that you can see growing underneath her skin and spouting from her hair. So much so that you can't really tell where hair ends and where leaves start. She's very tree-like in a way. And she's usually found wearing kind of like flowy, hippie-like, whimsical dresses or things like that hang loosely off of her body, and she kind of moves very slow, very creaky almost, if you're listening closely.
Love that. Okay, great. We see Des, and the first thing you notice is the sound that is around you. It is like you are standing in the middle of a nightclub, almost because you are. Counter to our last friend, you are also in the Fae, but you are at the graduation ceremony on the other end. You are already a graduate of the Sky Defense Academy, and you have returned for the graduation ceremony. It's like a big Comic-Con convention meets Lost Lands meets, party, a reunion. And so there are hundreds and thousands of people who are gathered here, and they are all around you. They're talking. They are notably not talking to you, but you see people who keep looking at you, and they're talking about you. And you know why they're talking about you, because it's the reason anyone who knows you talks about you. It's the fact that you are a graduate of the Sky Defense Academy and you're not an alumni of the Sky Defense Academy. And the differentiation between that is alumni complete the school and they are, you did the whole thing. A graduate is a person who basically made it far enough along that you wouldn't be a problem, like you wouldn't be a threat to yourself. And you were kind of pushed out that way. And so people who are alumni have a very just like, feeling towards you. And any other graduate that they meet, there's not many of them. Graduates typically don't show up to things. They become family people. They don't go out into adventuring. But you have returned to the 230th anniversary of graduation. And yes, you see this massive swath of people, and you're looking for someone. 2 people, in fact, one a friend and one a foe. Who would you like to look for first?
I imagine that while this whole party kind of atmosphere would be going on, that she would be perched kind of somewhere off in a corner with a notebook kind of tucked close to her face. Maybe even like some roots and some leaves over her ears to kind of block out all the noise and the stimulus that's going on. And she'd just be kind of looking up and looking down, scanning at the same time for both friend and foe, but especially looking for foe more than friend.
Gotcha. Scott, you can pull up that image that we have on the Roll20. And you're sitting there, you're making those observations. What are your passives?
Perception is a 17, investigation is a 19, and insight is a 12.
Okay. Roll me a perception check. Let's see what you see.
Nat 1 right off the gate, so that'll be an 8.
All right. You're just, there's so much going on. You're taking notes about people. You're picking up things. I think you're stressed because normally your whole thing is flying under the radar. Like, people typically don't look at you unless you're with a bunch of alumni, and alumni are always watching you because they just like can't help but look at you. And so it's like throwing you off. It's you keep looking up, and like every time you look up, someone's making eye contact with you, and you're like, I'm gonna look somewhere else. And every you look up again, and someone else is staring at you, and they're like, oh no, what? Or like they're like trying to move away, or like some of them are just staring at you, and they're just like, oh, I don't really care about it. So you don't see foe. However, you do feel the feet of a avian creature, a bird, lands on your shoulder, and it sits there. In its mouth, it holds a root, and you quickly would pick up that it's a lick root, and it is holding it in its mouth, and it's looking at you.
As she reaches up to start to take it, she'll look at the bird and go, Was it something I said? I mean, everybody's staring at me. I'm used to that, but like, it seems like a lot extra tonight. I mean, I haven't pruned in a while, but I didn't think it was that bad to be seen out. And she's gonna pluck it from the beak of the bird or from the mouth.
Yeah, it gives it to you, and then it kind of like looks at you. It looks in a different direction, and it starts to like mime that it's gonna, like, it starts to flap like it's gonna fly away, looks back at you again, and then it actually flies away. Very slow bird. It's like,
Well, bye, friend. It's been a while since anybody's talked to me. I guess he didn't really talk to me either, but
as you say bye, friend, it stops. It looks back at you. It looks the way it was going. It looks back at you. Roll me an insight check.
That's better. That's a 16.
All right. You know that you were asked to come here by your handler, and that they promised you lick root, and they also, your whole thing is like moving in shadows, and so I think you put together, after like the kerfuffle of like trying to make sure you're getting all your notes down, you're like, oh, that's for me. And you get the idea that you want to follow that thing. It is pulling you somewhere to meet with Solapora.
As she picks up on kind of the bird looking back and forth at her, she'll just kind of, her eyes will get a little more intense, and she'll nod and she'll go, right. And she'll just stand up very quickly and kind of like shuffle underneath it and start to look up at it as it starts to head off.
And as you're following it, it is just kind of like, it's taking you like a long way. You're leaving out of the crowd of people. You're moving more towards the Kingdom of Harmony proper, but you're not actually getting there, but it's just taking you out of this mass of people. Make me a perception check. They're going to roll against you because they're trying to be sneaky.
That's a 13.
Okay. You note that you see where the bird kind of flies off. It doesn't go to anyone. It kind of like sees that you're where you're supposed to be, and it kind of just like zoops out. And you notice as you're like watching that bird kind of like fly around, you see that there's someone kind of like standing in the shadows. They would be a lot more inconspicuous if like pieces and things like weren't like falling off of them, and like they were like, it was like making little bits of noises, and they were like trying to like they're dropping things or like something, and they're like picking it back up and trying to put it onto them, but also trying to be incognito. And you spot Magus Solapur, your handler.
And once she notices that she doesn't know this person, she's gonna run up, and whatever piece had fallen off last, she's gonna reach down to pick it up, and she's gonna go, "Oh, here you go. You dropped this."
Oh, thank you, darling. I'm always just losing things, and it's like you notice as you pick it up, it's like you can't really tell what it is, and then she takes it and she like puts it back on her face and kind of like presses it in. It's always just falling off.
Well, here, let me help you with that. And she's gonna reach up her hand, and she's gonna try to like apply a little bit more pressure, and at the same time, she is going to cast Cure Wounds onto her.
You have quite the delicate touch. You're getting better at that. You didn't have to waste the magic. It it's just how my face works. If it's not here, then it's here. If it's not here, then it's over here, or leg. You just have to put it back on and keep it moving.
Well, I mean, after all this time, I could pick up your pieces and help you out forever. I truly don't mind.
Well, I do appreciate that, but you and I have much more important things to do than worry about my face. You're just a face.
Very
You shouldn't
true.
get too attached to them.
I mean, seems like looks are everything around here. You should see the stares I was getting in there.
Dear, we know it's not looks, it's reputation, and at least you can make them look at you without having to do anything besides walk into the room. That's power.
Yeah, but not in a good way, They're just judging me. I feel like I'll never live up to the alumni expectation.
The alumni expectation. What is that? The status quo? You do more than most alumni. You actually get things done for us. You make sure the alumni get things done for us. So you, in my opinion, are far more important than any alumni.
No. My mom always did say that my nosiness and my perseverance would get me somewhere someday.
Well, it seems that she was right. It did get you somewhere. Somewhere very important, somewhere very powerful. Have you learned anything in your travels in Onwall?
Not anything great to report back at this point. I mean, I think I'm gonna need some further surveillance there. I mean, once all this is over and maybe I can catch a few rays of sunlight, maybe I can head over there and see what else can be found.
Well, that does seem to be not the best news, but better than bad news, so there's balance, I suppose. I brought you here because, well, things are getting weird. These Neo-Asgarathis are popping up more and more, and it's just becoming a problem. We need to find out anything we can about them to root them out. They infested the alumni, and it's a problem that must be cleaned up. A nice, delicate touch might be needed.
I mean, sure, I could probably spark a few flames going, but how many are we talking?
I have no idea. That's why I'm relying on you. And that's why I was hoping you would have learned something from Onwall. No leads, anyone? Do we know? We know that they're there. It's hard to know who's an alumni without asking too many questions, or who's an Asgarathi without asking too many questions.
Well, there's this really weird Goliath guy, Orseus. I mean, he's really been on my radar, but any other leads besides that, I'm at a dead end.
Okay. What is his last name?
Oh gosh, I have it written down. Give me 1 second. And she's gonna pull out a massive, shoulder bag that was hanging from behind her out to in front of her as she just starts throwing out books and magazines and papers and leaves until she unfolds, the tiniest little piece of paper, and she's gonna go, yeah, here it is, Orseus Blackwell. Does that ring a bell to you?
First name, no. Last name, yes. And not for good reason. I'm positive but there's a Blackwell who's aligned themselves with. Me, I've said that alumni are all the same. That's technically not true. Some people are just born more advanced than others when they're at their start. There is a student at the academy who's graduating, who you may have heard of, Tidbit Crimson. He's
Yeah, the little weird-looking frog thing, right?
correct. He's the chosen one of Summer Song, and unfortunately, Blackwell's brother is in his squad.
A
And if
chosen
you-
frog one? That's never happened in history. I mean, I would know.
Yes, I mean, anyone can be chosen, it seems. There was something about his family knowing Demina, or it went way back. You would know more than I simply just don't care. But there is the Blackwell that I mentioned, and if he is on your list and his brother is with the chosen one, there's just that degree of separation is just a little too thin for my liking. Perhaps if you could, while keeping an eye on this Blackwell, you can also just keep an eye out for Tidbit. Perhaps using your status and his status, that you could bridge some sort of gap. He's what I understand, a very nice person, disgustingly so.
Okay, well, I mean, I can definitely do that. It's been a while that, honestly, anybody's talked back to me besides you, but I can give it my best shot. You know, I'm kind of better in the shadows, to be honest.
Oh, I miss the days when people didn't talk to me. But yes, it is nice to be in the shadows. But this is I think you will be good at this. And if not, at least you'll learn something. We'll know if if the Asgarathis have infected the school, because Tidbit has just graduated, and if he is a bad guy, that's someone I would want. Like, who wouldn't want the chosen one of the god of time in your weird, freaky cult?
Yeah, I mean, I can get information, but I can't promise you that I'm going to be friends with him. To be honest, frogs kind of freak me out a little bit. You know, just wet and slimy and fire. It doesn't mix well.
That is true. Perhaps you don't have to be friendly with him. Perhaps just let him be friendly with you. Sometimes people just get real comfortable and just let you know things. But all you have to do is watch out for him, and if worse comes to worse, protect him. But he could be bait or a target. It's currently unclear.
Interesting. Okay. Noted. Well, I feel like we've made some progress here today. At least now we know a certain direction to head.
And that's all we can ever hope for. Oh, and of course, she reaches behind her, starts to fumble with things, and she pulls out this satchel. As promised, I do hope your affliction lightens. And she hands it over to you.
And when she says affliction, she'll just kind of like reach up and touch her face a little bit, and she can feel like the roots under her skin bulging a little bit, and she'll just nod and be like, "Thanks again," as she takes it.
And then she reaches out and, kind of mimicking what you did, she reaches out and touches your face, and she will use a cure wounds at level 1, and she looks at you and she says, "Looks aren't everything. It is often more important what's on the inside, young one. Don't forget that. Don't let anyone make you forget that."
She'll nod, and her face will give off more expression and emotion that she could do with words in that moment, as she will just kind of take what was given to her and clutch it a little bit closer to her chest.
Well, it seems I must do my due diligence and head back into all that noise.
I guess I should get my roots ready again. And she's gonna like pluck a thicker piece of hair and like stab it inside of her ear both times on each side, as she gives her a smile and a nod before they start to head back that way.
You did it in front of me. I always feel weird when you do that, but yes. And then she kind of starts to walk with you, and you will eventually part ways, but as you kind of walk, it is quiet. She doesn't, she only speaks to you as much as she needs to, and then she's like, that is it. And she has to be back at the school within a few hours, so she's trying to bask in this silence while the kids are asking her questions again. She's like,
I feel like on several occasions, Desi is gonna like go to take a breath, like as she's gonna say something, and like look over and be like, "Oh right," but oh, right. And that just carries on.
And as you were walking about like 10 minutes into that, she's like, how about you just go on? And she can see the crowd of people, and she just kind of takes a couple steps back, kind of just like sits on the ground and just sits there and breathes. She's like in like a yoga pose. She's like, just absorbing like the freshness of being not in the academy.
Mm-hmm. As she kind of picks up on the fact that she needs some peace and not somebody to talk her ear off at this moment, she's going to get out a book out of her satchel again, and she's just going to kind of like read it and walk this time. So she's like spending time looking down at the book and then looking back up again to see what she might see as she walks through the crowd a little bit more this time.
Gotcha. Make me one more perception check. No.
Dirty 20.
Hey, you spot a familiar figure. A Goliath. Last name Blackwell. And you start to move behind him. And then we jump over to our friend Tanner. Tanner, want to tell us your name? Even though I just said it?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Tanner. Tanner Messer. I'm here. I'll be playing Sylvie Ono this season.
I can lead you into it. Hold on. What's your relationship with D&D?
My relationship with D&D. It's my favorite form of escapism. Yeah.
Listen, I'm here for it. What is your relationship to Silvernell?
Relationship to Silvernell. I've been here a few times now. I started in Dragon Tooth. Played 2 characters in that because I decided to get my first one killed. And then with Princesses of Power, I came in about halfway through as Mirror Rage in that. And now here I am again. So, that's my relationship with Silvernell. I've done a little creating.
Perfect. And tell us your character levels and description.
Yeah, so my character levels... I am level 13 Arcane Weaver is my class. I am a fairy for my race. So I'm just like a little 3'9", adorable 40-pound thing running around not causing mischief, you know? Look-wise, I would say Sylvie is... Sylvie's like albino toned, very white, except the like one monochromatic like tone they have on their skin is like this like pearlescent like lilac tone that's like around their eyes and like kind of like their mouth area and stuff like that. Long like white hair that's almost like looks like it's constantly just in a breeze, and that's just the fairy magic. Sylvie does have 6 like thin wings that come out around. Their wings are lots of like reds and like lilac tones. That's definitely like their vibe for that. And yeah, that's what you would see if you saw Sylvie.
Her. And for the girls at home who've never heard of an Arcane Weaver, it's because I made it up. And Tanner and I are using a homebrew class that I have crafted, class and subclass that I've crafted for him for this game. And so if you see some things that are going absolutely wild, it's because we're playtesting it. So don't judge us too harshly, but also judge us pretty harshly because we want to make sure it's good. And if it's really good, maybe we'll give it to you guys at home. Who knows?
The Arcane Weaver for the class and the subclass is Arcane Dancer. A bitch got moves.
Perfect. And okay, I did see the messages in the Discord. Can you see this image now? I click this little clicky thing.
Oh,
Is that now? And if not, it's okay. I'll say the wrong thing. No? Alright.
Oh wait, the ship. I see a ship. Yeah,
Ship.
I see it now.
Okay, they see a ship. God, do you see a ship?
Is this in roll 20?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you on the what the Fae one?
No? I don't think I got that link.
Yeah, it's in the
chat.
it's in the chat.
Oh!
We had a no worries. Scott came in with a wild day, so no worries. We're gonna take 2 seconds.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I also do. You mentioned that I realized that there was a little button I had to click anyway, so people could see the thing. So
Learning.
the players were seeing it. They knew what was going on. They're like, yes. The audience is like, wow, they're so into it. It's all good now.
All
right.
Yes, ship.
Yes, but not just any ship. We find you once again in the Feywild. Well, all our Fey characters went first. That's crazy. We find you in the Feywild, far to the east, not near graduation. Sky Defense Academy. Who? Don't know her. You are on a pirate ship that has just left the Bogaine Tropics, an island far west of. I had to do the Never Star Watermelon. Far west of Silvernell, on a ship that is heading back to Onwall, the pirate ship city, and now it has moved and it is now the home base of the Fey Kingdom. But you are pirate life, but you are on a ship known as the Screaming Whale, and you have been sent here by your benefactor to collect a certain debt and to send a message. My question to you is, do you legally board this ship or are you a stowaway?
I mean, what's a stowaway anyways?
You're this big, it's hard to...
Exactly, I'm just a thing in some space. What, you gonna blame me for it? Please don't. But no, I wouldn't say that I, legally got on the boat. Especially if I have to send a message, you know.
I'll rephrase it. Do people know you're on the boat? Because also you get to talk to her on the boat, or are you hiding on the boat?
You know, I wouldn't say that I'm actively hiding either. Sylvie's definitely just the weave brought me here. I'm just listening to the magic around me, and here I am. So what's up, y'all? What do you do on this boat? I'd definitely be running around kind of chit-chatting, just small talk, normal that a fairy's right here.
Yeah, and people are kind of looking around at you because you are a fairy on a pirate ship. Everyone is kind of working. They're not the most civilized looking group. They're dirty. They have been on this boat for far too long. They came from the Bogaine Tropics, which doesn't you go there and you come back.
Oh, I
There's
smelled
things to do on
them.
there. The only fun thing to do there is to go through the sexy portal, and people call it that because no one knows what happens after that. But it's fun if you call it sexy. So people sometimes come through it, and they're pretty hot. But you are heading back from the Bogaine Tropics. How you got to the Bogaine Tropics, the weave wills as it will.
It will.
And there are people, as you're on the ship, people keep talking to you and you keep doing that thing where they're like, why are you here? And you're like, weave this and weave that. And they don't know what you're talking about. And it's gotten to the point where they've just stopped asking you. You walk around and you're doing your thing and everyone's just looking at you. You do know that...
Here we go.
You do know that Captain Jamo, your target is obviously the captain of this ship. If not, to be a really weird name. Maybe his first name's Captain. Who knows? Probably the captain of the ship, though. Do you seek him out, or do you?
I mean, yeah, that's why I'm here. I guess I'll seek him out, but I'm definitely taking my time. Admiring the different scents off these disgusting men that are around me that haven't bathed in forever, letting them relish in the fact that I smell like honey and jasmine and all those succulent scents, and they can take that up.
Succulent scents. What are your passives?
My passive perception is a 12, but my passive insight is a 17.
Gotcha. You note that you don't see anything that stands out to you visually, but you do note the candor in which people speak. They say mean things to you, but they don't really mean them. It's kind of they're working really hard to keep up this macho braggadocio. Yeah, they're like, oh, if I'm mean to them, then if I'm mean to this fairy, it makes me look cool. But also it's why you want a fairy? That's so weird. But everyone else is doing it, so they're all trying to doing it. But you're watching them. Almost all of them think that everyone else is into it, so they're doing it. So it's this weird cycle that you're witnessing.
On the fairy, I get it. I've been here. I've lived.
And you do note one that looks at you and kind of talks about you in a way that feels slightly more gay. Just so queer.
In a hot derogatory way, or
not even derogatory. Probably the one person who is if someone
Maybe
says
a little,
something,
you know?
or it's giving like when someone says something wild and they're near, they definitely speak up and they're like, "Don't say that." But you also know that insight that they are not the kind of person who corrects them when you're not around.
Heard
But they're
that.
like, "Oh, when you are there, they're like, oh no, I'm a good one." And you see Jazz, who is standing on the ship. He is tying off a I don't know ship terms, but he's got that rope and he is
He's
tying
got
it
a
off.
knot in his hand.
He is Byron's in there screaming about something shippy because he's a ship person. He's belaying. That's a word. I don't know what it means. They're ship terms. Yes. And he is looking like he's working hard, but also like working hard to look at you. He's giving construction worker minus the part where he's like catcalling you. His friends are catcalling you.
Yeah, I just like, hey boys, and keep going because can't be bothered. Like, get your shit together. Be a real man before you approach me. Be a real anything before you approach me, actually.
Yeah, and you hear him kind of like, stop, like it's not that, get out of here. Like
They didn't ruin it, you did. Bye.
And you kind of like start making your way down into the bowels of the ship. And I'm assuming you're heading straight towards Captain Jamo's quarters.
Yeah, I'm just strolling. Not even flying, just strolling. Literally walking.
What tiny fey knock on the door?
Mm-hmm.
There's silence. There's silence.
Hello? Will you open the door? I can't get the handle. I mean, I could, but I don't want to put in effort yet.
You hear a dum, dum, dum. What are you? As he looks down at you.
I'm Sylvie. You're Captain Jamo, right?
I am.
Yeah, so we just need to have a conversation.
About?
Well, you see, you happen to owe some people some debts, and I've just been sent here to retrieve those debts.
Sure,
What?
let's say I owe someone some debts. That someone sent you? They must not want their money.
No, they must really want their money. It's
Okay.
really hard to have like 100% like rate of doing your job, but like I maintained that. Not that you would know, because clearly you don't, which is why I was sent. So let's just go in here. We can like you can just give me what it is you owe, but you're giving a vibe that you're not going to.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Who's asking? And I know it's
I
not
think
you.
you know.
Sylvie.
Oh no, it's not me. Or I would have just immediately asked. I think you know BB?
His face drops. Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Now
What
it
do
makes
you-
more sense why she sent a fairy, right?
Listen, I told BB that I'd get her the money when I could, and the souls that come with it. So I'm good for it.
Well, you didn't maintain the timeline that BB gave you, and we're just really strong on principle and holding true to that. So I'm here.
I told
up.
her I get her the souls. You can't just go around killing people that will get attention, and that's not good. Only people can just go vanishing off my ship before people start asking questions. I will get her the money.
Well, what happens if your whole ship vanishes? Then you don't have to worry about anything, especially if you were on it.
Well, if my ship vanishes, then I wouldn't be able to pay her back because I'd be on my vanished
You're
ship.
right. So I just need the crew and you to vanish, and I'll take her the ship.
That's impossible. You can't. You can't man a ship by yourself.
Anything
Especially
is possible with
you-
the weave. Yeah.
What does that mean? Do you like clothes? Are you into textiles? You're always talking about this weave. What is that?
Magic, darling. Do you not feel it? As it touches your skin in the air?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I feel the salt in the air. Is that magic? Is the water magical? Is
It's
that
a
how that
little
works?
different. See, the weave can feel so good for some, but it can also be really painful for others when wielded properly.
I don't know what you mean by that.
We can find out. And Sylvie just like pulls from behind their back. You see them pull out a chain mace, like a ball chain that just like falls to the floor as they're like gripping it. And Sylvie casts mage armor, and this like really vivid purple, like almost infernal looking armor just starts to shroud over them.
Okay, maybe BB should work on her negotiations. I cannot give her.
Maybe not. BB doesn't need to negotiate, you see. That's why she sent me.
Well, he's trying to find words to say to you. A lie, a truth, a something, and he's like, and
it's
you.
At this point that I also cast enlarge on myself, so I then double in size and start to look him straight in the eye.
You're a regular sized person. I am a child. You do that, and then you feel on the back of your neck, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and you just get just the slightest chill, a very familiar chill, a chill that reminds you that you are being watched. And that is that. You put the armor on. You feel the chill. You cast enlarge, and you go from how tall were you before?
Oh, just like 3'9".
Oh well, that's a pretty big jump. You go from 3'9" to like damn near 7 feet tall. You go.
Now I'm looking down at him.
Okay. So what? Okay, we can do an arrangement. I can give you some of my crew, and then more later.
I mean, you say more later, but I need you to understand. You have to hold to your end of the deal, and if you don't continue to meet timelines, this meeting we have right now will be a much worse one later on if that maintains. So, I mean, how much do you owe her in total? You're saying half, but it sounds like you owe her a lot more than that from what BB's told me.
Okay, so what if I were to tell you the problem is I don't know how much I owe her. I kind of keep doing this thing where she keeps saying yes, so I just keep taking out more loans, and I don't take track of them technically, so I'm not really sure where I'm at on the souls or the goal. I kind of figured she like talking about it.
I mean, she gives me the details I need to know to like get my missions done. And at this point, like Sylvie's just like getting a little irritated that this is taking so long. I'm trying to like go and vibe on a fucking island, and this dude is making me work. So Sylvie just like kind of takes a really deep breath and like tunes in with the weave and everything, and it's just like, Auntie, is it okay if I go in now?
And you feel that coldness on the back of your neck move down your spine, down your arms, and you feel an invigorated and frigid blessing. And we will jump to Scott. We are going to move out of the Feywild. Finally, someone who's not there. Out of the Feywild, right across the border, like truly right across it, to Silverware. A place that is in the material plane, but of the Feywild. A border, a border patrol, if you will. At least it's in its original inception. And now resembles very much the vibes of like American metropolis. The food folk here who live in here, this city specifically is Bredenborough, where wheats live. They are all about being normal. And so they've built up this culture based around their idea of a fantastical version of what it would be like if they were normal people. Scott, there's a picture for you. And it has this kind of energy. It's very much a city on the... It's a building. It's giving mundane for a town that is made of only sentient food. But let's jump into Scott. What is your player name? Oh, your name and your character name.
I'm Scott Nicholson. I'm playing Sharp Chatterfield. He is a food folk. He is a 4'1" round block of sharp cheddar cheese. He's got some chunks taken out of him. He's got just 2 big eyes and a mouth, 2 like black stubby legs with shoes on, and 2 cheese arms. He's got a big old backpack full of stuff with a couple of tools. And I am a level 13 artificer artillerist. And I have to my right on the ground small chunk of cheese with little metal legs, almost like that baby doll head from Toy Story, just crawling beside me.
Lovely. These will be a little interesting. What's your relationship with D&D?
I've been playing D&D for a little over 5 years because it's better than real life.
Hey, I don't disagree. And what is your relationship to Silvernail?
I discovered it a long time ago and just asked my friends if they would come play in it and make things in it. It's very fun. I like it. There's a lot of heroes, but also a lot of trash that needs to be taken out.
We love that. And for the girls at home who don't get the joke, Scott made Silvernail. This is his world. But now you're in the know. You answered character levels and description. Your cheese and your level 13 artificer artillerist. Perfect.
Right.
Let me look at my little notes here, because I have so many things in my brain, but not all of things. Okay. You are in the city of Bredenborough, in the town of, I don't know if I did those sizes right. The small version is Bredenborough. It's a borough. You're in the borough of Bredenborough. That's crazy. I just realized that. And the city of Silverware. You yourself are a block of cheese, but you are hanging out with, or you're in a not cheese area. And you know the Silverware is a little interesting. While they all practice peace, they very much believe that peace should be dictated and maintained via food group. So they kind of stick to themselves. The wheat stay in Bredenborough. Then there's the Cutlery Keep. There's the veggie place, and everyone has their place to be. Mm-hmm. And everyone, so people kind of, and there are those who don't necessarily fall into one of the pre-existing categories, like a block of cheese. It's like, oh, like I go well with like lots of things. I can go well with wheats. I can go well with vegetables on a nice tray. But you have found yourself in Bredenborough, and you are meeting up with a man by the name of Ritz, who you see directly in front of you. You are walking up, and he is kind of like looks disheveled. You would think he was homeless if you knew that he wasn't homeless. He's got like Albert Einstein ish hair, and he's also a small 4-foot round cracker. And he looks back and he goes, "Oh, Cheddar, come! You can't
You
be
look
late
like
there."
absolute shit, Ritz.
Oh, well, I tried to look nice for this. You look not like shit, which is good because they're very judgy. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready. Where's your little hideout?
You can't just say it out loud like that. There's not a hideout.
There's nobody fucking listening.
People are always listening. Their eyes everywhere.
All right. Don't blow a crack of crust. Let's get going.
All right. Okay. I'm really scared about this. And he's moving. He's walking down the street with you. He's like, I'm really scared about this. The thing I want to tell you about, scary. But also taking you to meet the Stale Seven, they're a little rough around the edges, you know? They don't like other food folk, and you're a little sharp, but you know so much, because you're also so sharp. It's a duality that I hate about you, but also love.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, God, you're really sweating crumbs right now. Don't worry, I do well in a room full of crackers.
You should have been a softer cheese. I wish you. It's okay.
Hey.
It's fine. No. I'm sorry.
Don't be racist.
No. I'm just saying you're a little rough. You're hard. It's fine. I just, I'm just saying you're not suited for everyone's palate.
All right. Don't make me regret this. All right, Ritz.
Don't make me regret this. I could lose a lot here.
Hey, all right. I'm sorry. And
as you guys are having this conversation, you look up and you see the clubhouse a brown brick building with green edging and a big yellow sign with black letters on it that says the clubhouse. I just described the picture. I don't know why I did that. The clubhouse. And he looks at it and he goes, okay, we can do this. We can do this. I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Oh, step one, let's open the door.
Oh, actually, step one is knocking on the door. You gotta have some common courtesy around here. This is bread and butter. You will get shot. Dun, 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 dun. They're kind of slow, huh?
Oh, come on, let me do it.
That's not the secret hat. No, you gotta do it. At least do it. Dun, 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 dun. Little slider opens. It is actively at eye level, which would be really low on this door if you guys weren't so tiny. And he sees you first, but then he sees Ritz behind you. Is this the guy? Yeah. This is my friend. Let us in. Gonna be a big sell, but okay. And he opens the door. You're a you. Come in quick.
Oh, enter.
And he closes it behind you. 50, 60 locks. Just
It's a little obsessive, don't you
More
think?
locks. No. You gotta protect the secrets. The secret recipe is always what they're after. If they know what you're made with, they can just make more of you, and then you won't be important.
All right.
Okay. And then you enter the space, and there is just, it's a very much like a smoker / cocktail lounge. There are some books around the room. There are these people, these cracker people, who are cracker folk, as I will call them, who are all seated around, and Ritz starts to introduce you. Okay, well, that one over there, or he kind of just starts to ID them for you. That one over there, that one's AC. Kind of mean. Definitely don't talk to him. You will not vibe. He will not like you. He acts just like you. Will not be cute. That one over there, that's Graham. Graham is super nice, super sweet kid. You should definitely be friends with him. He's got things going. This hottie over here, that's Saltina. She's Saltina. And then we have the twins, Biscuit and Triscuit. They're right over there. They don't really talk to people who aren't them unless you have something really important that you're talking about, and then they will jump in, but only because they want to, and then they will not talk to you anymore. And then there's the second oldest, Peppa. She's sitting like just kind of in a chair reading a book. But this is them. This is Stale 7. Pretty cool, right? Nice clubhouse.
Yeah. I mean, sure. It's fine.
Look, I should be more excited about it, but no, it's fine, okay? It's my secret, now I can say it, my secret hideout, and you have it, okay, it seems like you go to lots of secret hideouts, it's not a big deal. Everyone gather around, I brought a friend to talk to you. Also, don't be weird. Please, don't be weird. He's staring at AC. This is Sharp Cheddarfield. He is gonna help me crack my big case. Everyone just lets out a big sigh. Ritz. Pepperidge herself says, Ritz, we've been down this road before. We let you feel these things, but you can't just keep getting other people involved. That's just not, it's not good looks. It's gonna, Ritz, that's your name. Are you here of your own fruition? This isn't, you're not being held hostage or anything, are you?
Me?
Oh, Sharp, sorry. Sharp.
No, I'm here because I want to be. I'm here because you want me to be. Your little crazy friend here, your cracker boy, he's right. His conspiracy is a fact, all right? And I'm going to help you.
Oh, you're just like him. Oh, all right, Ritz, you have at it, I guess. Oh, thank you. He runs over to, waddles over to a bookshelf. didn't need to read that. And the bookshelf kind of slides over. All right. And it's like you're walking into a mad scientist's room. There's papers everywhere. There's a board with like papers and sticky notes and the red strings. Like this guy is thinking, and it's going across walls on the floor. It's like he's like, "Oh, step on that. That is a train of thought. Don't break it." Steps over it. Yeah. Okay. What do you think? Pretty good, right? Like it just, you get it. It makes sense. Eh?
I mean, it's gonna take me a while to read all this, but you're definitely a fucking crazy person, that's for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you the notes like they fell off a cliff, so it's fast and it's quick. So, okay. So everyone who's not from Silverware knows that we have this portal, right? Of course, that makes sense. And everyone thinks that because we have this portal, that's where the preservatives come from, because that would make sense. We know the preservatives come from the Fae. There's a portal here to the Fae. We are Fae. However, that's not true. They do come from the Fae, but not in the way we think they do, because that portal is locked, and it has been for hundreds of years. We're not allowed to go through there. But also, we're not allowed to talk about the fact that it's locked to other people, because then they would know that we're not really border patrol, and they might fuck with us. That's a secret. And I can tell you that secret because you're one of us. Though you're not one of us, you are a food folk, and we're all in danger here if people turn on us because we aren't doing anything. But also, we don't really want to do anything. We like hanging out. It's real nice. People just think we do stuff. Okay, so there's that. But then it's like, why is the door locked? And then it goes back to Conception, Penelope Flora, Clea Nile, and Mortenzau. Ever heard those names before?
Yeah, I've heard those names before. I'm listening. Keep going.
Yeah. The Unholy Trinity. They built this place, right? Right? Then why would Penelope Flora herself lock the portal? What sense does that make?
Well,
if she wants us to be free.
And if that's where the preservatives come from, most of the people here in this city would die after their natural causes, which for me would be a hot sun after a day.
Which is crazy. Like it goes against what she wants. She wants a place where food folk can be, but then cuts off the way to get to the thing that can let us be.
Yeah. So what do you find?
Unless there's a reason.
Yeah, what is it?
Power. You know what kind of power? Control. The Unholy Trinity was obsessed with control, and when the other two died, it was just Penny. She had to do something. The food folk were just living forever. No one had to fight to be alive. Olivine was doing what he did. We were being left alone, but no one wanted to be a warrior because we could just live forever. And that made people lazy. So what makes sense, now hear me out, it gets a little crazy. It will make sense if she went to the Fae, locked the portal, and then herself started, or not herself, but then she started smuggling preservatives back into Silverware while she was on this side, so that way people would have a reason to fight because they couldn't run no more. They lived forever and they needed an army, immortal. That's a great plan. Oh, it would have been if we didn't, all not want to do stuff. But it was a good plan.
All right.
But now who runs the preservative trade now that Penny's dead? Been dead for like 100, 200 years now. Charcuterie board. Don't say it loud. Don't say it outside this room. Not even out there.
You're fucking kidding me, right?
No.
You telling me the charcuterie board's running this portal?
Not even the portal. I think it's worse than. I think the portal really is shut down. But I think the charcuterie board, the members from one member from each of the fucking cities or the boroughs, those guys, I think they're the ones who are getting the preservatives and then they're having them smuggled to their people. It keeps up appearances, but they're just getting the preservatives. There's no smuggling happening. They're just getting them. And then telling people that they're like going across the Fae and getting them. But it's just being shipped to their door like Amazon.
Like what?
Like a really fast shipping service. Like it's quick.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You certain about this?
I mean, what is certainty when you have to put it all together by yourself and no one else believes you? All the research comes from you. Like, yeah, but I do believe it. The question is, do you believe it?
Hey, look here, Ritz. You know, we got a good relationship. I helped you out, you helped me out. You tell me this is what you believe, this is what I believe, alright? I didn't get these war wounds that just happen to look like Swiss cheese holes for nothing. It's because I stood up for you, alright? If you say it's true, I believe you, so what are we gonna do about it?
Oh, well, I don't know. That's why I kind of brought you here. You seem like a kind of guy who's really good at putting things together, and you were getting really close to what I knew, and it took all that time, so I figured telling you all the stuff would just, you'd see it, and you just know what to do. So just let me know.
Well,
he kind of steps back, looks at you.
I'm looking at what you got here, and I think you're right on the nose. This is what I think we gotta do. I think we gotta go to Cutlery Keep. We gotta fucking set fire to a charcuterie board and get through that portal ourselves. Alright?
Okay. Okay, yes. Well, no. The portal is actually locked. We really can't. It really is closed.
Well, somebody in that little board is gonna have a key.
Yeah, I think they're doing something to get him here. That's not the portal. There's some other.
They're doing what?
I don't know. There used to be rumors of those like.
No. I don't accept you don't know. I'm gonna grab him by his crust. You ever been assaulted, Cracker? All right. I need to know all the information.
It's all I know. The portal is closed. I know that, but also I know that the preservatives are coming from the Fae. That has to mean another door. But there's not supposed to be another door. There used to be these weird like places that were like Fae and material because they got all that weird shit going on, but you could like go into one and come out the other way. So maybe it's like that. But I actually don't know. This is.
Well, you tell me what you need to figure it out. Let Sharp help to you. All right, what you need?
Fuck! No one's ever asked me what I need before. That's crazy. Oh, we just need more people to believe us. If we can get people on our side, then maybe we can do something. It's hard when you're just cheese and cracker. Like, who's gonna listen to us? What do you need? What's stand with?
You need an army? All right, because I got a good friend, a cherry pie down the street. We can make some things happen. He's working on something right now.
I've never really. The dessert's a little. Where would you? I mean, he's pot, wheat. So I guess I should kind of trust. Okay, yeah. Let's pitch that to these guys. You got friends? I got. You got more friends than me. I got 6 friends. You seem like you have a lot of them.
How about you let me do the talking, okay? I'll get us connected.
I'm really good at. Okay, yeah, great. He kind of like leads you out of that room. He's like, "It's going right. I found a friend and he believes me, and we're gonna change the world." And we're gonna jump to Andrew. Mr. Krug, please tell us your name. I don't know. I just gave it all away right there.
That's okay. My name is Andrew Krug. Last name.
Oh, and your character name. Sorry.
Yeah, I am playing Ursine Grills, survivalist extraordinaire. And for my class, I am a multi-class ranger fighter.
What is your relationship with D&D?
I first started playing D&D about 8-ish years ago. My first game was with you, Michael Jackson, in college. Yeah.
You were always like, that's so long ago. And I was like, oh, attached to that. And I'm always shocked by it. I'm always like, oh, you counted that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was great. It was a fantastic time. I've been playing D&D on and off, like, since then. A lot of I probably have played D&D as much as I've played other tabletop role-playing games. I'm in another game with you and Benjamin, and I am currently running a game with Benjamin by ourselves. Yeah, it's been great. Oh, and Silvernell as well. I was in Princess of Power, most recently, and then before that, I was graciously incorporated into the Silvernell universe through Battle of the Gods, a couple of shot, and there we introduced Ogba, the tree god of knowledge, wisdom, and trees.
Yeah.
Trees, yeah.
I guess wisdom, knowledge.
You were also in 2 or 3 episodes of Dragon Tooth, which introduced us to the
That's
Azir
true.
Kingdom that became a campaign.
Yes, that's true. I forgot. Yes, that's yeah.
There are through lines here in Silvernell.
Fisher Price there.
Fisher Price.
Yes, Fisher Price of Sharkfoot Island, and you were later the princess who was the diplomat to Sharkfoot Island, and now you're
Sharkfoot
the
Island.
character attached to Agba. Listen, guys, if you play in Silvernell, the things you do will come back to haunt and
So
or
many
bless you.
strings.
Just never know. That's the relationship. So now, what character? You already told us what your character is, and
Yeah. I didn't describe my character though.
Okay, I was like, I think we said the 10
yeah.
thing.
I'm a man. I'm a normal ass guy. Okay, I'm a normal ass guy. I'm a human. I'm in my mid to late 50s. I'm living the adventure life. Okay, and honestly, they don't make it this old. Generally speaking, I'm in my mid to late 50s. I'm basically in my late 60s. It's taken a toll on me. I climbed the ladder. I climbed the ladder well. I can do the things that I need to do. I go out, I adventure. I'm really hoping to keep doing that, but not doing it actually. I'm really hoping that I can just do one last job and then I'm out of here. That'd be absolutely great. Really looking forward to retirement. Been building up my pension. Been building up tenure. Old guy, got gray hair, fashionable top knot. That's held in place by 2 wooden daggers that he's crafted himself. Ursine has a cloak made of various animal pelts, both gifted to him by animals. I don't know how, but it's happened, and also taken forcibly from animals as well. He's an older gentleman, but if you were to look at his skin, it would somewhat resemble tree bark. The wrinkles and folds in his old man skin. And he also is rarely seen without his 3 wood tree blights. Wood blights. I don't remember what they're called. Twig.
They are blights. One is a vine. One is a vine blight. One is a twig blight, and one is a needle blight.
Yeah.
Vine, twig, and needle. Yeah, looks like thorns.
Yeah. I sort of imagine them to be like Koroks from Breath of the Wild, or leaves. I don't know.
I always think of them as little minions. You're almost that's an old man Gru right there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yes, speaking of that mission that you are on, you are, that's what we pick up with you. You are in the material plane. You are right next door to Silverware. You live in Penelope Sentient Flora, and you are inside Morton Zhao's labyrinth. That is what you've decided to be your big tada. This famed labyrinth that no one's been able to conquer. Morton Zhao himself has been dead for several hundred years, and Penny has been dead for a couple hundred years. So no one has claimed this place, as all the unholy trinity are dead. But no one's been able to get inside of here to the prize that lays await, and no one knows what it is. They just know that it is attached to the unholy trinity, so they imagine that it's got to be the biggest, baddest amount of gold magic power that you could ever want, because that's what the unholy trinity was known for, taking what they want and changing the world to make it a better place, depending on who is better for. A little subjective. But you've entered the maze, you've traversed it, you have escaped death traps of all different kinds of magic and of natural of natural creation. You have fought off weird hybrid animals that have been there that you've not seen before. As a person who's like spent a lot of time out in the wild, you've interacted with weird plant creatures. Some of them, the most part of those things were the plants were really easy for you to navigate because of your natural affinity with plants. But there were some that were like bred or designed to not work with people who like could speak plant, as if like someone knew that might be a problem. But even with your natural awareness, you're able to knock that out, and you find yourself standing at a door, a stone door, the last door you'd assume. You've made your way, and you believe that this is it. But you have been standing at this door for like 20 minutes and just staring at it because you do not know how to open it. You've been racking your brain. They've been looking for sigils and things, and you've nada. And we find you there. Her son stares at that door. How's he feeling?
Oh, well, maybe it's a pole door. He attempts to pull the door open.
No handle, but you could just have to finger grip it, and you're like,
yeah, the Spider-Man.
It does not pull open. You can make a survival or a perception check if you want to try to find some traps or triggers or something that may cause something to happen. But currently it's looking like a slab.
I'm going to, I'll do a survival check. I'll go ahead and survival. It's an 18 survival check.
Yes, this is, you look at it and it looks like this stone, which you can assume is you don't feel like it's a dead end. It feels like you've made it far through way too many traps for this to be like another dead end. There's no other way for you to go. You're standing there, and it just feels like this slab is a part of this wall. It's not a push, it's not a pull, but it's like it's very flush with what's happening here. There's no markings on it, which is also weird because a lot of the labyrinth has had like weird runes. Spells have been coming out of runes. This is just like a sheet of not even marble, just like a stone slab of like one brick, and it matches the walls that are around it, just not runed. You hear the scratching or slapping, and you look down and your blights are trying to, all three of them are like scratching at this door in the same place, kind of to the right side, and they're all scratching at it, just like that. They're like, are they trying to dig through it?
Yeah.
They're like, but all three of them.
Good idea, boys.
The twig.
I take out my shovel that I have, and I start trying to pick at it.
Do you pick at the door or the ground? Like, are you picking like trying to?
What are they digging? Where are they digging?
They're digging, like they're scratching at the door itself, in an almost horizontal motion. Like they're all like together. They're like doing that weird thing where they stack their heads on top of each other.
Mm-hmm. Give me one second. Is there any like opening at all in this door? Is there a crack like in the door and I can like see some light coming through, or it's just like wall?
It's just wall, and I think that is what is stressful to you. Like, it just seems like it's like if someone like you would assume like someone would put a wall down, but it seems like this wall is attached to the walls that come around it. Like, it's always been carved out of one giant slab versus like slabs put together. So it's flush with them. But yes,
I will start digging the ground then.
Yeah. You start to, and you kind of see that the slab goes farther down into the ground. It is like embedded in the ground, and you're starting to be like, interesting. But then also you notice that is not true for the rest of the walls. As you like kind of like dig in, you notice that the wall on the side of you doesn't go down as far as this slab in front of you.
Mhm.
And so you're like, oh, so this thing in front of you is just giving like extra protection, but the rest of it's all just kind of like a facade.
Does it like corner out on the side? So like if I keep going on one, so I have this wall, and then I have like another like a wall that doesn't go all the way down. If I were to like dig on that side and then try to go out and under and around, is the wall just here, or is it also?
You don't think you could go out and around it, but you do think you could get at least a grip on it if you were going to like try to like grab it. Like it's
Okay.
under that is grounded in weird rocks, but it's not like the giant slab. And I think you would notice your blights who are doing this kind of scratching thing. They start to like, as they see you digging, they start to move from this scratching motion and start to like palm it. They're like, they're like, kind of like what you were doing when you were trying to pull it, but they're like pushing in and like moving the way they're trying to scratch.
It's a slide door. It's a slide door. All right, I think I've seen some of these. And then he takes his hands on like the edge of the wall and starts over. It's just stone.
As you start to pull it, you're to and it just is in fact a sliding door.
Kids these days coming up with the craziest. Well, this is old, isn't it?
It is old, hundreds of years
Reuse
old.
new old technologies. Hey, that's whoa. You just reinvent things, and that's what progression is.
Scott, can you show the picture that is on Roll20? And oh, you can't.
I can't.
He's muted, but I feel like he's talking.
The camera, all our videos are about to switch for a second. It's the only way for me to get to the link.
Oh, ha!
Ooh. Okay.
Oh. I see. No, look behind the curtain. I didn't forget about that. I'm so sorry. But I'll continue to explain because it's a room. That is the thing that shocks you. You open this doorway, and you can see the picture. It is this room. Inside of it is a Dios. I don't know if I said that word right. It's a circular platform with a smaller circular platform on it, and in the middle of that there are some runic etchings. The wall is covered in runic etchings, and there are 3 chairs that sit in there. You look in front of you, and you see the
Can I tell what
of the Unholy Trinity.
Like a lot of gold, like valuables? Or like...
No, it's a bare, completely stone room with these etchings in it.
It's still in the clubhouse, by the way.
Oh dear, I hit the wrong button. Yeah.
Can I tell what the Can I tell what the etchings say? Like, is it in a language, or is it like...
Do you read Primordial? Which I know you do. I just asked you.
I think I can at least speak it.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if I would have been taught how to read and write. Well, I'm with Agba a lot, so...
Yeah, I feel like you've dabbled with language long enough that you're like, oh, if I can speak it, you would start to figure out how to write it out. But yeah, you recognize these are runes written in Primordial. They don't really say anything in particular. They are like words, keywords, power words that they just like dictate vibe. It's like protection, observation, scrying, awareness. It's like the vibe that is trying to culminate into this space is that. Do you enter the room?
Yeah, I'll enter the room. And I'll stand on the like center like thing. Why not? I'd get a good vantage, like look up and down.
Yeah, it's about maybe like 10 feet from ground to ceiling. Good 10 feet. It's not very big, probably like 7 feet from side to side. It's got these rooms in it. The chairs are positioned in a way that they are like almost facing this Dios, and you're sitting on top of it. And the runes on the Dios are 3 circles that are interlocking with each other. So that's what you see.
Is anyone here? Anyone, okay. Hey boys, if you want to take a seat, there's some empty chairs over here. You guys have been working your asses off. You know, you really deserve it. As he tells his blights to like take a seat.
And they run. Actually, you see them. They look up. They run up to you. They run to the chairs, and then they start like moving from different. Like they're trying to like they're looking at the chair, and then like it moves to a different one. Like they're trying to find the right fit. They're like too hot, too cold. They're trying to find one, and then they all stop. One of them in front of each chair, and they look at it, and they smile, and they all like because they're also these mini creatures. They climb into the chairs. They sit. And then you notice that the sigil under you starts to glow ever so faintly.
Move.
And as you step off it, nothing happens. It's just like it stays just so faintly. Like it definitely lights up, but it's not like, wow, that's a light. It's like, oh, suspicious. But it starts to like get this like energetic. It starts to get revitalized with energy, but it doesn't. Nothing else happens. No sounds are made. You just see that light, almost like it's trying to start up, but just doesn't get there.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened
first,
right as your blight sat in the seats.
Yeah. First, I really wish I had a camera or something because those guys look cute. They look cute on those chairs. Let's see. I haven't done a spellcaster in absolutely forever, and now I'm just like I'm so overwhelmed with like all of the things that I might be able to do.
That is a hard life.
But also, I might not even need to use spells at all. I'm gonna. Maybe it's a weight thing. Maybe they're just not heavy enough. I'll sit down in one of the chairs, the one all the way to the left.
Yeah, and as you sit down in that chair, the light starts to get a little bit brighter. What's your... Did you tell me your passives?
My passive... I did not. I have not told you my passives.
That's my fault.
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you, dang it.
I'll make sure I break it in. If I don't know, I haven't asked.
My passive perception is 19, and my passive insight is 50.
You notice with the passive perception that it is triggered by the people who are sitting in the chairs. Your insight tells you that you don't think it has to do with weight. You can make me an Arcana check.
Yeah, I'll do that. I don't know how good I am at magic. Much more of a down-to-earth soul. That's a natural 20.
Come on, Grandpa. You realize that it has something to... You feel like it has something... You sit in it, and it feels like you are... You mentioned magic. It feels like you are... It is locking you in magically. It feels like the thing that is missing is 3 magical people. You have 1 magical person and 3 magical things, but you don't have 3 magical people. And that kind of makes sense for you. The Unholy Trinity works in a group of 3. If they wanted to lock something away or have a superpower, it would probably be attached to the power of 3. But you you have made it into the horde of the Unholy Trinity, and you have found at least the treasure room. You don't know what the treasure is, perhaps, because sadly you need friends, or at least it would help you.
I am. I'm going to point at my little blight friends, and I'm gonna like gesture for them to like come close to me, and when they do, I'm gonna be coy. I'm gonna like whisper to them, blah 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 blah, and then they're going to the 3 of them. They're going to touch my arm, and then they're gonna shoot to the other chair, and then leaves and bark are going to like sort of fly around them, and they're gonna make like an outline of like a humanoid that sort of resembles yours truly.
Like 3 blights in a trench coat. I love that.
Yeah, 3 blights in a trench coat, and it's that's gonna be my echo, and I'm manifesting my my echo, my echo knight echo. Gonna manifest that there. I'm gonna have them sit down in one. Technically, they are a construct, not like a human or anything. I'm not 100% certain that they weigh anything, but I'm trying.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
trying to get the weight of them onto it.
Well, I'm just trying to get like another like person to fill a seat, I guess.
Yeah, yes, you could. You absolutely do that. And I think you would get more. It gets brighter than it was when two of them were on a seat and you were on one, because those three things work in tandem a lot. That they are all combining their energy to put it into the chair. So now you're up to the point where you need one extra friend.
I Where are you? I'm gonna cast Conjure Animals.
Okay.
And I'm going to. I don't know. CR2 Beast.
The days of. I'm happy I'm not playing a summoner anymore. That was the last. That was last season. I was like, oh,
I didn't think that I was gonna be.
let me just look up all these things in case I have to summon them for Scott's game. And did I have a list? I did. I was like 14 creatures.
Okay.
Used 2 of them. I was like, all right. Well. It's like snakes.
It's gonna be a shark. No. An enormous tentacle. I'm just reading a list. I'm so sorry. A cave bear. I'm gonna summon a cave bear to sit in that chair with me and try to fill that third seat.
Yes.
And it's a magically summoned cave bear.
It is magically summoned cave bear, but it itself does not possess magic. As it sits on that third chair, the lights don't get any brighter at all. It is just the same. And you kind of sit there in that moment. And as you sit on that porcelain throne, I will let the audience join you as we take a bathroom break. And we'll come back in right this real quick. I promise y'all. We won't keep you here all night. But thank you guys. We're going to take a small break and we shall return. Bye. I don't know when it actually goes away. Bye-bye.
5 or 10.
About 5. Speaking of, we'll be done. We'll be wrapped up by 10. We'll just take this quick 5 so we can, don't go shit. But if you gotta pee, go for it.
We're back.
And we are back. Welcome. I hope your bathroom break was quick and brief. Thank you. We're jumping back to the top of turn order, if you will, with our good friend Ben Reily, aka Tidbit Crimson. Also, I need to make that smaller. Okay. Ba-doop, boop, boop, ba-doop, doop. Oh, here it is. Tidbit, you that portal under your feet teleports, and the entire graduating class vanishes from the Sky Defense Academy and reappears in a stadium that looks much like. I'm gonna actually make sure I put the thing on the thing. Boom. If you show that screen, Scott, you appear in the stadium that is, again, hundreds and thousands of people who are in fact gathered while to celebrate all the alumni. There's one alumni that's on many of people's minds, and it's you. However, you know that you have been asked to meet with Demina pre-graduation. She's the only person who can send correspondence to the school, the Sky Defense Academy, because she built it. And so she has gotten word to you that she wants to have a meeting with you, and like ASAP. So that is where you're at. And you know that she is here somewhere. Also, you have a passive 20 perception. You know where she's at. You see her. I'm not gonna play with you. Just save time. You see her. She is. I got it. because she stands out. She is a goddess. New image on the screen. If I actually click it, boom. You see in front of you. Let me get her full name because I will not disrespect the queen like that. You see in front of you, Bemina Songkeeper, Queen of the Kingdom of Harmony, Crown Princess of the Fallen Kingdom of Symphony, Conductor of the Acapella, Last Steward of the Song of Creation, Pirate Queen of Onwall, Founder of the Sky Defense Academy, and Unifier of the Fae. And she kind of looks like Beyonce. I didn't do that. Byron just mentioned that she kind of looks like Beyonce. And she is the woman who gave you your sponsorship, your endorsement to go to the Sky Defense Academy because you were not technically a part of any of the courts who send people. So she was like, as queen, I'm picking him. And also, he is. So you got picked by not only the god of time, but by the queen of the Fae to go to this school. So everyone knows you. It's so hard to not be famous. But you see her, and you start to make that like intersecting path with her as you start to dodge and weave. With the perception you have and the insight you have passively, you can see people coming. You can tell people are coming to talk to you, and so you know how to like. Actually, you're doing the whole like I'm real tiny and they're big. Just so you're hopping around.
I just skirt on.
Yeah, and it takes you very little time to find Demina, and she looks down at you, and she places her hand out for you to. I put it too low. She places her hand out for you to like jump in her hand. She can escort you faster. Do you do so? And she doesn't know the skin thing. So
I go to hop on her shoulder.
Oh, well, you've gotten really lively. We must speak in private. And she starts to quickly escort you to not here. As you start to move around, or as you start to move through this crowd of people, you quickly like move through them, and it's hard and easy. Whereas you are famous, and it's like you're like overwhelmed by it. She is so famous that people are avoiding her. They're like, oh god, queen, don't look at me. Like, what if you speak to me and I say something weird and now you hate me and I'm kicked out of... So it's that kind of energy. And you start to move through this place, and you are taken to the hall of the acapella. It is where they have meetings. It's a place you've been to before. You've seen the insides of it when you were here before you went to school on your grand tour of the grounds. And she looks at you. Well, before anything, how are you? Graduation? Exciting? Yes? No? Scared? Happy? What's up? Tell me.
Tidbit was nervous, but Tidbit is fine now.
I heard Tidbit was top of your class.
Tidbit did not know how to read the ranking list.
Who needs to read when you're at the top?
It was very confusing with the numbers and the scores. And there were lots of names that I did not recognize.
But you're just so interesting. It's funny because you say that, but I also know you happen to specialize in the ice affinity, one of the hardest tracks to manage, and yet you claim to have done so without even trying? Wow. Time truly has blessed you. That is great work.
Time and you, my queen.
Oh, I just did my part. I brought you here, and you did the rest. I am but a shepherd on your journey, as I am for all of my people.
You have given me so much food, so much snack. You have scared people away when Tidbit wanted to nap. Tidbit is very thankful.
Well, Tidbit, I am thankful for you. And I have quite a big responsibility to ask of you. No easy way to put this. You know that I am Queen of Fae, and you are Chosen One of Time, and we both have a very personal relationship with time. And she kind of like says that very knowingly, because no one's supposed to know that you talk with time actively. But she's insinuating that she's picking up what you're putting down in a way that maybe she also talks to time. But your 20 insight will let you know that. She goes, it seems that change is coming. And no one truly lives forever. I myself have been alive for, 500 so years now, and I feel great, but you just never know what's going to happen. It's good to have a contingency plan. And originally I had the chords of harmony who were going to take over after I eventually pass on, and that would be fine, but then time chose you, and it just seems unbefitting of me to pass up that moment. As you know, when I pass, the Kingdom of Harmony will cease to exist because it's an elf thing and it's just so exclusionary, and we don't like that. We want to be open to everyone. So I'm going to allow the chords of harmony to come in, and they will be a diverse group of people who can run this very well. And I would like for you to be on it.
No, thank you. Goodbye now.
Okay, well, you have time, as I'm still alive. You have hopefully at least 100 years to figure it out. So no pressure, but I do want you to know this is not a responsibility that I plan to let you lightly shirk. You're welcome to do whatever you want. I know you've just graduated, but in the vibe of time, but I just want to let you know that in the future, you may be called upon to do great things. As she's saying this to you, that perception picks up a couple dozen footsteps that are marching down the hallway. And it makes it really hard to listen to her. And as she's finishing up that statement, bam, the door gets hit in. And you see a lot of people walk in. You see the Fungal Prince. He is the on the acapella, and he represents the Court of Autumn. You see, boom, Reily. He is the Coven Principal, and he is also on the acapella, and he represents the Court of Spring. You see this trio of individuals come in. It is Fazan, Tiana, and what's the other one? Oh, St. George. And they are the seated members of the Summer Tribunal, and they represent, as a collective, the Court of Summer. And they all walk in, boom, 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 very rigid, very not the vibe of what has been happening. And they look at the queen, and they don't look at her they don't look at you with any reverence. They don't look at her with any reverence. They look at her as an equal, and that is not something you've ever seen anyone look at. Like, you've never seen anyone like move around the queen like that. And they look at her like she's just some girl from the street. They could care less. They all come in, sit down. The Fungal Prince goes, "He needs to go. Now we need to speak direly." And Demina looks at you. Can it not wait? I was just having a conversation with our recent graduates. He needs to go now, Demina. We must speak, and it is pertinent. She kind of like reads the vibe, looks at you. "Sorry, dear, I have to take this. It seems perhaps we can speak a little later. I'll come and find you." And she
Tidbit will vanish.
allows you to leave. How fast do you move away from that door? Or are you trying to think? Are you like? Is there any nosy bone in your body that's like, why was I kicked? Like, why was I kicked? You've never been kicked out of a room before in your life. Is there any part of you that's like?
No, I think Tidbit has finally seen his moment to escape from another job proposition that they don't want. So Tidbit flees very quickly.
Yeah, you start to move away. Even in that quick flee, that your ears are just, it's so hard to not hear things. So sometimes you hear things you don't want to hear. You can hear in that room Tiana, Fazan, and St. George. They start talking, and the only thing you hear is, "We have word that Olivine has died. We must act now. Things have changed. The school need not exist if there is no threat." And you can just hear Demina being offended. Even in her lack of words, you just hear like my skull. And as you start to walk down, you are hearing this, so you don't catch the rattling door in front of you that starts to form. It's like being cut out and like written out in chalk, up very Beetlejuice, and it starts to shake and form, opens to a liminal space. There is you see nothing on the other side of that door, and it starts to shake, rattle, and roll, and you feel your perception just, you feel I should grab onto something, and you are sucked through a portal. The door shuts, erases, and it is very, very calm in that hallway. As we jump to Erica. Erica, you are not in that building, but outside. You are chasing down this Blackwell lead. You have been moving behind him like a hawk. It has also been a testament to your ability because you know that this person is trying to stay away from you. They are trying to cover their tracks with magical means, aka they're casting Path Without Trace. They're trying to do stuff, but you don't have to use magic to track people. You're just really good at your job. You're like, oh, I can figure out and guess where he's gonna go and like try to cut him off. And you are doing that. Is there anything that you would like to specifically do in that tailing?
Do they have any like previously established relationships? Like, would they have ever bumped into each other and had a conversation, or is this some like she's just solely been trailing him and keeping eyes on him, even if he's aware of it?
You have spoken to him before in On Wall. Not about anything in depth. It's more of you spent time trying to play down the fact that you're a graduate and that you are useful. And the reason that has worked for you is because, one, you know things, and you're a healer. And so people are like, dang, I can't say no to a smart person who heals me. And so you get to like be in the know, but it's very much like little brother hanging out. They're like, okay, now the big kids are talking, and they'll push you out, but you've been able to like pick up things that you wouldn't have gotten before. But so if he saw you, he would notice you. If he saw you following you, if he saw you following him, he would be weird about that. So that's what
Okay.
that
As she's getting closer to him, she's actually gonna start calling out after him and going, excuse me, sir, trying to yell over the crowd and the loud music as well.
He does not turn around. The only reason you think he hears you is because he takes off in a dead sprint. Because remember, he was trying to not be seen, but you saw him, and so he's like, oh! And so he just starts booking it, like like a cop seeing a guilty guy, and it's like, my guy knows that I'm guilty. Just starts taking off and is like zipping through people and doing all kinds of weirdness. Also, he's a big guy.
She's gonna match his pace if she can. If her little cylindrical, tiny, creaky tree body can like keep up pace with him, she's gonna attempt to.
Yeah. You're moving behind him. He starts to duck into and out of not buildings, but like alleyways. You know that it would be better if you had a better point of view or another way of tracking him. Do you have any interest in using your wildfire companion to help you with that, or wild shaping into something?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. She's gonna have her wildfire spirit turn into like imagine like Groot, whatever like a version of that. It's going to be a very Groot-like kind of companion, tree-like body, but with flames coming out of his head. And she's going to jump onto his back and try to see if she can get up to him any faster on top of him.
Yeah. You know that your the wildfire companion has the ability to teleport, and so you are adding now 15 feet, I'm pretty sure it's a teleporting range. So you're adding 15 feet to your movement now. So you're moving 30 and then you're teleporting 15, but also you're teleporting to like onto a roof, and you're running and you're jumping and you're teleporting again. So it's like helping you to like to just be more sneaky. And he's like on the ground. You can see him like still in the distance, but you're catching up to him. But you can tell that he is like onto you. Then he turns around and he points at you, and you don't see anything. Not you don't see him. You don't see anything. Almost like someone casts darkness on something you're wearing, and you're now enshrouded and enveloped in darkness that is on you. Which would be easy to fix if you knew what was dark, so you could just take it off. But now you're like, is it this? No, is it this? Is it this? But you can't cover up the darkness, so you can't see where he is going. Make me I will take a survival or arcana.
Survival's better. We're gonna go with that. And that's a nat 20, baby, for a 27.
You are able to, you're hitting all the things. Your familiar starts to like heat up, and something on you cracks. The spell breaks, but it takes maybe 12 seconds. Maybe 12 seconds. You have no idea where Blackwell has gone. He has vanished in that time of casting darkness on you and has removed himself from the situation. Make me a perception check.
Uh, 16.
You don't see him, but you see tracks. You see that he has left some footprints. He had to, you know this because you're a caster, you can cast some of the same spells. He had to drop Pass Without Trace to cast darkness. So he was, before he can be tracked by non-magical means, but now he's like leaving footprints because he figured that he would have more time, or he'd have time to get away. But you're just a really fucking good spy. So it's hard out here for him. But you see his footprints and then you start to pursue. Do you want to send your familiar to start looking, like just to separate to see if you can find something different, or do you want to stay together? What's your...
No, we're gonna stay together to travel faster if needed, and so they'll start following his footprint, and she'll get on his back as she was when they were teleporting. But he'll like take his little big tree trunk, like walks as she's looking down, examining his tracks.
Awesome, Goofy. It doesn't take you too long to track those tracks. But they come up to a wall, and there's like the footprints lead like directly into a wall, as if this person walked through the wall, which is very possible. Or something else randomly happened. You know that people can teleport. It's fake, or anything's possible. But you are standing there and you are like trying to figure out what's going on. Make me an investigation. You mentioned your passive investigation was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a 19.
Okay, so make me a perception check. You gonna know plenty with this investigation, but what's your peripheral catching? So roll me a
perception is a 25.
You look at this wall and you start to trying to figure out how it works. Maybe he went through it, maybe trying to find more tracks or signs, and then you hear with that 25 that there's talking on the other side of it. And you hear the familiar voice of Orky's Blackwell, and he's like, there's someone chasing me. I don't know how they could know what happened. Why would I'm not a suspicious person. Oh, then why'd oh, well, no, brother, it is nice to see you. And you can hear him like clasping the hands of someone else. But what you don't hear, as you are hearing this Blackwell reunion, is your I guess we'll call him a familiar, but your familiar companion kind of like turns its head and looks, but you are like you're visually taking notes. You're like, I don't have time for this right now. Like, get out of here. Like, this is what I need. The T, and chalk outlining behind you of a doorway starts to appear. It starts to shake, rattle, and roll. I'm just gonna keep saying that now. And when you finally decide to turn around, you're like, what? You look, and you are both jettisoned through a liminal space, a door with no other side. It's just like kind of like going into light would be the best way to describe it. And you are, door shuts, and it unwrites itself. Tanner, you're on a boat, and Mother Dearest said that you're allowed to show off. What's Sylvie doing? As she sees Captain Jomo, you're the same size as him. What's up?
After feeling Auntie's cold touch run over me, and reminding me that I'm not the one that always has to get my hands dirty. So Sylvie, kind of cools it for a second, looks at this captain, and is like, you're lucky that Auntie's touch really just swayed me. And the captain will notice at that point, like, Sylvie starts shrinking back down to, like, their normal size, like, letting go on their concentration of enlarge. And I realize, like, now speaking to the captain, I don't always have to get my hands dirty. Auntie has a tendency to not do that either, so let me show you. Follow me, Captain. And Sylvie, like, flies up, like, opens the door, and, like, runs back out to where, like, all the, like, seamen are working.
He looks kind of, like, confused, but not in a position to say no. So he's like,
He's not.
what the fuck is? He's very confused. Like, what the fuck is going on? What is this little fairy trying to get me to like? What's going? But he follows you. He goes out up the stairs onto the deck, where all the
Yeah.
other seamen are.
Once we're both out there, I like look at the captain and I'm like, now let this be an example. It'll be worse if I have to touch you. And Sylvie pulls out an infernal talisman out of their pocket, gives it a little kiss, and casts Infernal Calling, and will summon their devil friend.
Yes. So the things that will need to happen is you will have to use. I don't know the exact wording for it, but it's the thing that lets you cast detect magic. You'll need to expend one of those so you can cast the spell because you don't have enough charges currently. But you can omit the charges by using one of those resources, which I assume
I'll augment it.
Yeah, so your eyes kind of
augment. That's that.
Yeah, so your eyes kind of flash, and you take out this talisman and you start rubbing your hands around it, and it takes a minute to cast. So it's you bring him out there, and you stand there, and you're like, it would be worse, and then you just stare at him as you like massage this talisman in your hand, and you're rubbing it about 30 seconds.
I'm not breaking eye contact either.
Like 35 seconds into you massaging this, it starts to like liquid starts to drip from your hand, and it looks kind of like sweat, kind of like water, until it touches the boat and starts to sizzle and eat it away. Drip, 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 and then 59 seconds, 60 seconds, a figure appears. There's a picture on the roll 28, my friend, and you summon a devil, a black Abashi, if you will, a part devil, part dragon entity that is loyal to you because you have in some way found its talisman and you control it. It looks at you, it looks at you and it goes, "What the fuck do you want?"
Hi, Pookie. I just need a couple things done real quick. I need you to murder this captain's entire crew in front of him, and also collect me a couple vials of blood while you're at it. And I hand out the vials.
Any survivors?
Only the captain. I want him to remember this.
Turns his head, teeth fang up, acid drips out of its mouth, and it starts to maul people. It bites people, it claws them, it throws some of them overboard. It is bringing them up and it is ripping people apart. It is eating them, and it is giggling the whole time. It's like, I love a day out. This is so good. I just look back at you.
I did this for you.
I hate you. And just ripping things apart. And you put the talisman down and ask me that. I promise it'll be different.
It's mine.
Rips through everyone. And he vials of blood. Yes, starts ripping the people. Is holding the limbs with him. And just starts to accumulate limbs, barrel rolling through people. Some hands through chests, like ripping and shredding people apart. Just, some people he just like knocks down and lets his acid just drip onto them, like he's drooling on them. The acid eats through their body. He looks at Jazz and he goes, "She liked you." Bites his head off, and kind of like takes the pieces that he has, walks up to you, puts his hand out.
Here, handing the vials over.
Starts to drain various body. It's like, just getting all the juice out of arms into this vial. The vial is covered in blood. It could have been like a much cleaner process, but Yumi hates you, and so it starts to and it's like, here.
Thanks.
Looks at the captain. Thanks, I guess. Also, I hate you. Am I done now?
Yeah, that's really all I needed was an example to be made. Thanks, babe.
Don't call me
Fine.
babe.
We'll work on it.
We won't. And he starts to disintegrates back into acid.
I put those vials of blood in my pocket. Just patting them. That'll come in handy for causing some mischief later. But now, Captain, you see, I've managed to come here, collect all these souls, and I left you. And I want you to know I left you for a very particular reason. Because I think that Auntie herself should be the one that murders you if she wants to do that. Because it'll be much more violent and ruthless than anything you just witnessed happen to your crew right here. So remember, timeline. You need to meet the dates that she has things set for you. Until I see you again, hopefully I don't. I'm gonna go lounge on a beach somewhere off this nasty ship.
And you like give that speech, and then you kind of like look around and clock the ship. There is viscera everywhere. The ship's sail is covered in acid and falling apart. This ship is not gonna stay up for very much longer. But like,
Well,
that's
there's
not
no
your
one
ship.
to
Like,
run it.
yeah, and also there are holes there is acid eating through it. So water is quickly starting to build. Where is Sylvie going, doing, feeling? I know she's leaving JMO on the ship.
Oh, for sure. Good thing I have wings being a fairy, so I'm just flying off. Yeah,
As you
just the closest land to go lounge, wherever the weave wants to take me. I'm just feeling the wind, babes.
as you start to fly off, you see the obviously hot body of Jazz, and you kind of like stop just a little bit, and in that moment of what could have been,
Hmm.
shake, rattle, and roll, baby. A door opens behind you on that ship. Out of this door is not written on a wall. It is just it appears in space, and it's like a door is drawn in space, opens, and you are sucked through it with very little effort because you're so tiny and dainty. You are
Yeah. Also, not the
sucked in,
weirdest thing I've seen here.
sucked into a liminal space. And we are moving on to our boy Scott, Mr. fucking Cheddar. You stand in a room full of crackers, and they are just kind of like Pepper has given you the A-OK because she's like, you're crazy, so like that's fine. But then you come out of that room and like you don't have the look of defeat that she expected or anyone expected because like he's fucking crazy, so like nothing makes sense. But you get it, and you're helping him out, and they all kind of look at you and they're like, "What the fuck happened in there, dude? Did it make sense to you?"
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Look, I'm not all about secrets, okay? I'm not afraid of a piece of broccoli or a cracker or a wheat stick. I'm just not afraid. So I'm going to tell you all something right now. There is a way into the Feywild, alright? And all of you in this room are going to help me find this secret portal. Your little friend here, he's on to something. So maybe you need to start listening to him, as crazy as he looks and smells and tastes.
What? I mean, we did not believe him. We just don't want to do it. I mean, also I don't believe him, but like, do I want to go to the Fae? Like, I am Fae. Do I need to go home? Like, this is
my
home.
number one mission right now is to help this cracker find a way into the Feywild, okay? So yous is all gonna help me find a way there. By the end of this day, we're gonna find this portal. You understand me?
They kind of look around at each other. It kind of sounds like he's threatening us.
Let me
Cheese wheel,
clarify.
are you threatening us?
I'm promising you. You don't help me find this portal, I'll turn you all into the topping on a salad. You get me?
AC looks at you. He starts to growl. Fully a person, but starts to growl. Topping on a fucking salad? We don't go on salads. That's fucking croutons. Croutons are different than crackers, you racist! And he charges you.
I'm gonna try to dodge while saying you crackers all look the same to me.
He is not a fighter at all. You dodge out of the way and he shots into the wall and he's like, God,
That's embarrassing for you.
let's get your friend out of here. God damn it. And you turn to like look at this guy who's like threatening you and mad, and he says, Ritz, get your friends out of here. And there is silence. But like freakish silence. There's no one. There's 8 people in this room, including you. No one speaking. There's like, you hear nothing behind you. Ritz doesn't respond. And you're kind of like, ha ha ha, I missed you. And you look up at this guy, and he's like face up, palms down. Like it's like having like, I can gaze into the future moment. It's like something is going on between him. And you're like, oh, weird. You turn around, and they are all in that same like, even Ritz. Just
Alright, I know I can be intimidating, but what's this all about?
silence. And then you see them their bodies start to like, not shake convulsively, but vibrate in a minute way that they just kind of like move slightly all closer to each other. And they are like lined up in a row as they like continue to convulse. They're like in this line. They turn, and then like you see they start to like fall over, like they're passing out, and then this door starts to. It's etching through them. But you can definitely tell that it is doing something to them. It's like pulling something out of them to make this door, and it does not seem like painful, but it seems weird. And they're all kind of like in this moment, and then Ritz kind of like snaps out of it, and he's like sees this, and he's like, "Oh, fuck! What the fuck's going on? What'd you do? You do this? You talking to me, bro?
This was it. Your cracker friends know where the portal is. They're opening the portal."
No, we don't open portals. We're just crackers. Looks at his friends. What the fuck did you do to my friends? Okay, breathe. Okay, I'm gonna ask and listen. Oh, did you kill my friends? Did you do this?
No, not yet. Listen, you know your friends are opening this portal. You have anything to do with this, Ritz?
He's like ignoring you and checking pulses. Okay, not dead. I didn't do it. Wait, okay. I blacked out a little bit. Did I do that?
Listen to me. I'm gonna grab a cracker and pull him around. Listen, Ritz. You gonna tell anybody about what you see right here?
I don't know what I see. I don't.
No. Listen to me, Ritz. I need a yes, sir. I will tell nobody about this.
I wouldn't tell anybody. I mean, you go behind him.
I hate delayed reactions. I'm gonna punch right through his cracker body.
And you punch through his body. You pull your hand out, and behind it, you see the door starts to. It at that point starts to actually congeal and make its shape. It was taking a minute to do so, and you see other people start to like. They start to like wake up, and then you notice that they start to like. They are being drawn towards this portal, and you're like.
Oh, no. I'm going to grab up my little cheese with spider legs, pick him up. No, you don't. I'm going to run in between them, cast wall of fire behind me, catch them all on fire, and try to jump into the portal.
And you just toast some cracker. You hear screams. They are very painful, blood curdling, and then
part of
nothing.
Work.
You hit that portal, and that sound just. Bloop. Who knows what happened to them? Andrew. Oh boy, you did it. It didn't go how you wanted it to go, but you have found the horde of the unholy trinity. You backtrack out of the labyrinth because it's not that hard to get out once you've like been through it. Easy. And you start to walk. The first thing you notice is that all the trees talk because they do, but they're talking about you. Do you hear they all speak primordial? They're chatting it up. You live in Penelope, sentient flora. All these plants can speak. They normally are kind of assholes, but they fuck with you, and they play this really bad game of telephone gossip. But you hear them all talking. Oh, I heard that you made it into the morning. I heard that you made it into the lab. I heard that you made it. So they're all just like kind of saying the same thing over and over again as you're like walking. Every new tree is like, I heard. They're like,
yep. Yes. Yep. I did. Yep.
What was in there?
Chairs.
Huh?
Yeah, just they were stone. Don't worry about it, friends. They were just stone. Probably none of your relatives, unless you related to stone. Yeah.
I think there is a guy.
Pedestal.
So your treasure was a chair?
Well, it was 3 chairs. I assumed that the treasure was friendship. Something along those lines.
Oh.
I just didn't have any friends to fill them.
No. Friendship's like a cute reward. So is money or power or influence. But friendship is super cute. No,
Yeah. Well, this was my last job anyways. Yeah, it's okay. Your pride has never been my thing.
Is that
I'm
because
okay to end on a loss? It's okay.
I don't want to hurt your feelings, and I don't really, I don't have them, so I don't really care about it. But like, are you not prideful because things often go like this? And if you were prideful, you'd be really upset because things always go like this, or is that just am I just reading into it?
No, no,
Oh,
no. That's not it at all.
he turns and it kind of like. Okay, so people don't like when you point out things that like are obvious about them that they don't want to talk about. Do not say it to them. He says this out loud about you to his friends. They all start.
But that's okay
muttering.
because he was wrong about this time. But if that was true, what he said, that yes, it would have hurt a lot, but it wasn't, so it didn't.
You feel you're
I'm
trying
just
to
gonna
like,
keep walking.
you start to try to walk, and you feel a tugging at your legs. And you're like, it's your. You look down. You know it. You didn't have to look down. You know it's your lights. They're
Don't
looking at
really get a
you.
rest, do I? Hey,
And
boys.
They're very still. They're like normally they're running around like crackheads. And they are still. They look at you and they sit down and look at you like kids waiting for a story. Like,
Do we have to do this now? I'm just sort of like trying to go home, guys. You can we walk and talk? Is that okay?
Viney, Twig Blight, and Thorn Blight put their roots into the ground and become like rooted to the space. They look at you.
Okay. I'm gonna sit down with them.
As you sit down, they don't talk to you. You hear these plants
Yeah.
and things talking around you. They kind of sit there, and it's just you. You sit in a forest with these plants for about 6-7 minutes, and then right where you are, almost like they were waiting for it, or you were waiting for it, or it was just meant to be. On a tree, shake, rattle, roll. You cop. That's not how tree stride works. Whoa! And you are sucked
I
through.
try to run away before. No, no.
You see, are being pulled backwards. And you're like grabbing on the ground. You see your blights are all looking at you, and they're like they unroot themselves. They run up to you. They grab your hands and they pull them out of the ground and they jump with you. And they're like, look at and you are sucked through this portal. And then the thing that happens for the first time to all 5 of you, you are standing in this space. A box, a circle. Who knows? It's all white. The only thing you can see is there are 4 other individuals of an assorted variety sitting around you. Party. And you are standing in this space, very confused. It's very quiet. There's like not even white noise. It's just like dead silence. And then you hear, oh, hell no. There's no way that this is what they brought me. Fuck. And that's where we're going to end this episode.
Okay.
Hey.
Honestly, whoever that is like totally valid.
Yeah,
though, just
totally
saying that.
valid.
Yeah, like fair. That is fair.
Incredibly valid.
10:03, just a little bit over. We got there. Guys, thank you for joining us for this campaign 5 of, I don't think I said it earlier, campaign 5 of Adventures in Silvernell. What did I name this? What the Fae, the Odyssey of Chaos. Fun fact, we will not be back next week because it's a holiday, or the next week because that's also a holiday. We are coming back on the 8th. I look at a calendar because I don't want to say the wrong thing. We come back on the 8th, and then we run like a marathon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you didn't, come back and watch anyway. If you did, tell your friends. And then come back as well. I hope you guys had a great time, to the audience and the players. And that's all for me, folks.
Thank you, Michael.
Also, we didn't use those DM inspiration, so you 3 who got them, you can keep them until next time.
Hey.
I also forgot to mention that.
Thanks.
Okay.
We did it.